Good morning, Keller Williams, and welcome back to 66 Conversations with MAPS Coaches. I'm joined today by MAPS Coach Bill Lawton. Bill, welcome. Happy to have you here. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, I'm MAPS Coach Bill Lawton. Been in the business since 1998. Had a lot of fun with different companies before finally landing at Keller Williams, and had the pleasure of being a team leader for several years, a productivity coach for several years, broker in charge, overall glutton for punishment. My focus is on leadership clients. I work with a lot of productivity coaches, and also do some production coaching with agents who kind of specialize in equestrian property or land, agricultural, horticultural properties.
Nice. Very cool. I don't even know if I knew that about you, so that's good to know. Let's see if we have any equestrian referrals for you in the future. So, Bill, I'm sure with not only the clients that you coach, but also with your PCs who coach a whole lot of other clients and agents across our ecosphere, this objection won't be unfamiliar. It is the price reduction conversation. So you've called me as an agent and you've let me know, hey, unfortunately, we're not getting the activity that we need. I believe that it's time to adjust our price. My response typically that I hear, maybe you're hearing the same, is, well, Bill, you told me you could sell it for X when we first met. Why do we need to reduce the price now? What sort of conversations are you having around that kind of a question?
Yeah, so let's just role play. So Marty, I completely understand your concern about the price. In fact, clients have raised that objection before, and I'm curious. Have you felt the overall environment, the market? Have you felt the market shift a little bit?
Well, I mean, I've seen news articles about interest rates and some other things that have happened on the news and online. Yeah, I guess certainly there's some things that are different than they were 6, 12, 18 months ago.
Yeah, and so when we put the house on the market and we did all the research, the price that we agreed to on the house was well within what the market was saying that the house would sell for. Do you remember the conversation we had that we would do a checkup every 14 days and just see where the market is and how our activity on the house is? Do you remember that conversation?
I do briefly. I know you said we would do some sort of checkup.
Okay. Well, that's what this is. That's what this call was all about, is a checkup. And what we've noticed, and obviously you've noticed it too, is that our showings haven't been as frequent. And we haven't had anybody put anything in writing yet.
True.
Okay. So when that happens, and that goes on for a period of time, and we talked about the 14 days because we know that this market is shifting. And this is the first time in 10 years that we've experienced a declining market.
Okay.
So fortunately, I've been around longer than that. And I've experienced this market before. And so the reason we talked about 14 days is we don't want to get behind the market. We have two opportunities. We can either be in the market or out of the market. And I believe that if we do a small price reduction now, we won't have to make a large price reduction later on.
So you mean small, like $500 or $1,000 or?
Well, so we're currently priced at $325.
Mm-hmm.
My recommendation, and based on the conversation we had when we listed the house, my recommendation would be to drop it by $10,000.
That seems like an awful lot, Bill. Does it have to be that much?
Well, it doesn't have to be that much. And quite frankly, you're in control. You could say, Bill, I don't want to reduce the price of the house. But you hired me to tell you what you need to know, not so much what you want to know.
That is true. I remember you telling me that we'd probably be friends at closing, but not necessarily friends right now. I guess this is one of those not friends moments. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. This could be the bonding moment for us, right?
That's
so
fair.
Remind me how much you're paying each month on your mortgage?
All in, I think we're paying about $2,600 a month.
Okay. So if we reduce the price of the house by $10,000 today, and you got $315,000 for the property.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't if we didn't do that and we just sat on the market for another 4 or 5, 6 months, how much in payments would you have put in the house that you no longer want to live in?
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be very quickly much higher than $10,000. Okay. All right. So what you're saying is we can get the price down to 315. You think we have a better chance of selling the house?
I think based on what the market is telling us, you did everything that we've asked you to do. The house is in perfect condition. It's ready to go. We just have to get that one person to say, at this price, I see the value in purchasing this house, as opposed to all the other properties that are listed at the same price.
I like it. I think you did a great job of handling that. And I also have a question for you, just kind of in your experience. Do you have, as you said, 14 days? Is that typically how often you're coaching for clients to do a checkup, or does it depend on the market?
14 days, even in the really great market that we've been in for the last 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
Especially in the last 2.5 years, if it was on the market more than 14 days, the only thing you could attribute it to was price. Right? Price fixes everything.
Sure.
Perfect example, agent in our office, you may know him, Bill Kennedy, had a house that it actually caught fire and burnt down.
Oh, wow.
Right before a closing. And it was a total loss. The only thing that was left was the brick facade around the outside of the house. And he reduced the price, and somebody bought the property for the property. So price will fix everything.
Yeah. Sometimes just a lot value. I've heard it said before. Someone once told me their take on it, and love to hear yours, is 10 days, no showings, or 10 showings, no offer. Right. Maybe an indicator, and sometimes that price range too. Like, what's your take on that as far as when you're looking at your listings or coaching your clients as well?
I use 14 days because if 14 days we don't have something on paper, yeah, we're out of the market. We're in that little gray zone in between, in the market and out of the market. It's kind of like that heavy middle where it's no man's land. Sure. Right? You're either not getting showings or you're getting showings and no offers.
Right.
And no second showings, right? So if you're not getting a second showings, at least if you were getting a second showing, you could go, maybe we're there.
Sure.
But if there's no second showings, no offers, unfortunately it's price. It's not overcomplicated. Yeah. But price will fix all of those things. And we don't know where the market's going to go. Fortunately, we got Mega Camp coming up at the end of the month, and we're going to get some really good info from Gary and Jay and Jason about what they see happening in the market. But we don't know where it's going right now. And if it stays on the market for 4, 5, 6 months and you keep it at the price you have it listed at, you've got to make a drastic price reduction to get back in front of the market so people even dare to look at it again.
Yeah, I agree. Great points. Well, guys, you heard Bill mention Mega Camp coming up here at the end of August. This video will be aired prior to Mega Camp. So when you're seeing this live, make sure you attend. If you're seeing it on the recordings, well, hopefully you attended. And if not, make plans to attend in the future. Bill, thank you very much for joining us today on 66 Conversations with MAPS Coaches. Excited to have you here. And guys, hopefully you're listening, right? Price cures all. 14 days, keep an eye on it, do a check-in, make sure that your clients understand that, without the showings or the offers, price is going to get everything fixed. So we appreciate your time. Guys, come back tomorrow for another MAPS Coach and another conversation. We'll look forward to seeing you then.
Thanks, Marty.